and such. Good lord, it's been a while. It's been a solid 4 days since I last streamed. So I hope everyone's had a good week so far, good time, all that sort of such. I do apologize, I'm very low on energy at the moment. Again, this is the second to last week of semester for my current degree, so I am run ragged at the moment. In fact, I'm going to probably be doing a little bit of uni work in the background today. Just because there's so much to get done, and this is probably why I'm not going to stream next week. Just so I can actually focus next week and get everything finished, because I'm struggling. The most entertaining goober ever, goddamn. I'll do my best, but it's been a rough while. So a lot has happened since last stream for me. Kind of a lot of life decisions that are getting made that I'm not fully there for. Subnautica is horrifying. Yeah, it is. I actually really loved that game. Kind of tempted to go back and play it one point, but that will be a future idea. Oh no, did something go wrong? I wouldn't say something went wrong, it's more just kind of like... So, I'll best describe it as... So, I've been doing a degree since... Well, I've been in university since 2019. So that's a solid 5 years of study. I have one degree that I've done during that time, and I'm currently on the second one, and this marks the halfway point, the end of the semester, if I complete everything correctly. The thing is I am very much getting to the point of being burnt out with study. I'm not as motivated as I once was. I'm finding a very hard time being as intrinsically motivated towards it. And it is just very draining. And I don't think it's because I can't do the degree. It's because I just think that in my current state, I can't do the degree. So something needs to change, basically. And those changes look to be one of two things. One is I reduce how much I'm doing on the degree and take a bit of a job to offset that issue. Try and find a nice middle ground. That's what breaks are for. That's the problem with this degree, is there wasn't really ever breaks, and realistically, I'm not in a great mental state fully yet. I mean, it's been half a year or over half a year since I moved here, away from a very toxic environment that had been kind of running for years. So it's kind of hard to just go, oh, we'll just take a break. It's like, yeah, to take a break, I probably need half a year. But I can't I have a painful need to eat, right? What degree is it? The current one is software engineering, which is why, like, you'll often hear me talk about more programming related things. Like, it's software engineering major in game development. It's a really, really big passion. I mean, the fact that I do game development is one of my mainstream things at the moment, especially, and I've been doing it for quite some time. That's great then. Yeah, like, the previous degree was Bachelor of Arts major in education with the intention of doing teaching. But not that I don't want to be a teacher, it's that in New Zealand there's just not a great atmosphere at the moment, and the places I'd want to teach, I'm not sure I'm quite there yet, mentally and maturity wise. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with it, right? So yeah, I've been like applying for jobs and all that. How am I today? I'm exhausted is the short answer. But yeah, so it's the two options, by the way, were study at a part-time or less capacity while doing a job, or just doing a job for a bit, like a full-time job, to be like a year or so of a break. The worst possible ideas and spouting memes at you, Roger's on the other shoulder. Oh, I mean, that's fair. Like, I think that's another aspect as well. Like, I don't really want to give up streaming, but I also have to probably rearrange my streams if I was to do job stuff. Probably would do more like structured, longer streams, but only like 1 or 2 of them a week. So, just gonna get a feel for the game in its current state again. Haven't named your abilities, okay. And haven't named that ability. Nor have I named yours, so I need to go through and name some of these at some point. Your time zone will still be here. Thank you, that actually does mean a lot. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of decisions that need to be made, and I'm not sure I'm capable of it. 2 AM, 2 PM, I forgot the names. Yeah, it's fair enough. Is AM night? Yes. It's very late night, past midnight. That's fair though. Doesn't help that technically speaking 12 AM is midnight, 12 PM is midday, yet PM is the one that leads into night. I've still never fully accepted that as a thing, is how it works. It's so weird. Time starts at 12, it doesn't start at 1. Checkmate, liberals. Don't ask. Brains. Yeah, as I said, very exhausted. One with a long ass beard. Oh my god. Time is time. I mean, yeah, sure. Are these all the same? They are all the same. Wow, great RNG there. I do like that emote though. It's a very funny looking emote. Doesn't come up on stream though because it's going through a restream. That's kind of sad. Why are you here? I thought I had solved that. Clearly, me trying to solve problems just causes it to not be solved. I swear to God. I'll just keep taking the Gangra until I can get the fucking Sakura Storm shite. How do you charge my Sea Glide? I have no idea. You spend coding and how much time for debugging, like theoretically? I'd actually say it's fairly even. Like thinking on that. Because like, at the moment, I'm definitely spending more time just kind of like doing cleanup in general. But if you're like talking about like the development side, right? Like I'm developing a thing aside from fixing things. The amount of time I spend developing things, the difference as well with developing is half the time you can do it without being in front of the program, whereas debugging, you do have a lot more of it you kind of need to test in front of the program, right? I know that sounds kind of weird to say it like that, but it's how I'd probably describe that aspect of it. But yeah, no, I mean, that's actually a really interesting question that now I'm kind of thinking more and more about. Like, what... Right. Oh yeah, I don't actually have it, that's why I'm not healing. But I'm probably just deadhead. But yeah, no, I would say it's actually fairly even. But that's also because like I'm an independent developer, right? If I was a larger company, then depending on my role, one might be more than the other. And the higher you are, the more it's around developing a correct concept and then implementing it correctly, I guess, is the other part of it, right? So one thing I've learnt a lot in both my degree and studying, like, you're not going to write code correctly for a long time. How you learn how to do things correctly is by doing them constantly over and over again, right? So at this stage, I'm still kind of getting back into certain things, as well as technically I never did game programming when I was younger. So there's an element of that. It's because I realized most of the time spent debugging. To be fair, it could be that you may feel that way as well. I wouldn't say that that's not true, because again, like, I will openly admit there has been some solid months where it has just been fixing stuff, right? Don't go underneath the aurora. Ah, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. The aurora is definitely something you do need to gear up for. Don't wanna fuck around with that for a while. But yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, right? Technically, I should be doing more debugging at the moment. But there's an argument to be made, like, again, it's implementation first, then making it work cleanly and effectively second. Is definitely an aspect that I think's important to kind of reflect on. Yeah, no, it's an interesting one to think on, though. I guess, like, as well, early on, this project was developing features, and I'm still developing features, but a lot of those features are a bit more specific and unique, and don't require as much dedication, I guess, to time to work on them. get satanic resilience here and then just make it impossible to die? Sure. Get an honest feather as well, fuck it. Did anyone else see the giant feathers for a split second there? Interesting. I need to look at that. I start with a general idea, implementing the idea takes time, and then sometimes one might not know how to do so. Yeah, which that gets into that whole like, wow, I'm scouring YouTube for 3 hours. It's about to bust. Is Mothaholic augmenting the wrong value? Is that what's happening? Because I've been wondering why it doesn't feel like some of my stuff gets larger most of the time. But those might be using an old value, which is why they're actually increased in size. Yeah, the things are there as well. The pedals, I'm sure they're not supposed to be that big. Typically, oh, to be fair, they do randomize, right? Is that Iron Mouse? I can't see. No, it's case on. I'm just happening to get Iron Mouse's stuff as well. It's a lot of pink, which doesn't help for clarity, I guess. And also, to be fair, I do want to have a way of like showing which character you're playing like partway through, because an intention here is to actually have the character name. But as you can see, obviously that's not there at the moment. Why do I have all of the pink things? Share a hybrid between different characters, or does every character have the ability to use other characters' abilities? Yes. It's, again, so... referencing the games that this is very much based on, it is a lot like Vampire Survivors in the fact that, technically speaking, there is no unique weapon, but every character has a weapon they start with. Whereas in holocure, for example, which is where I'm sure a lot of people are going to draw a parallel, in that every character has a unique weapon. Whereas in Vampire Survivors, technically every character has a passive, but they don't really have too much complexity to that outside of like some of the more ultimate characters. Whereas holocure has ultimate abilities and passives, right? Which is kind of where I've gone with this. So there is passives which only the character can obtain. Then there is a weapon and an item that every character can start with, but those weapon and items can be equipped by anyone and everyone, but obviously there is an amplification to how they play with that. I compare it to 20 Minutes Till Dawn. That's fair. I love 20 Minutes Till Dawn. That was a good game. I do actually really like that upgrade system, and it always kind of makes me question if I've gone the right direction. Not having followed that sort of thing. Now that still doesn't work. I would need to fix that at some point. Yeah, idle song's not been working for a while. It requires quite a bit of cleanup work. But yeah, so that's why, like, at the moment I am running with the Iron Mouse weapon and Iron Mouse's passive, just because they synergize incredibly well with Kason. Because Kason's design in this, if I just end the run, essentially I kind of want to look at these numbers. Yeah, Iron Mike needs to be pushed up. The top end damage needs to be improved, because that is, for how long I had it and how good of stuff I had for it, comparative to even Demon Umbrella. It did slightly more than Demon Umbrella, but Demon Umbrella didn't have peak values. And I'm almost feather. I guess also there's an argument to say that Sakura Storm might just be kind of an outlier and it's doing a bit too much. Idle Song, even though it was broken, did insane for the little time we had it. So I guess there is definitely some balance issues there. Anyway, so I was going to show, because I'm actually quite happy to show this stuff at the moment. Character, we're not looking at sprites, we're looking at this. Same amount of time to get to the next level, meaning at some point people will just be able to stand AFK and delete everything in the game. Yes and no. So EXP does actually scale. The amount that you require increases every time you level, and then there's certain integers where certain points where it will increase, the scaling will increase. I can show that shortly, but anyway, here we go. So Kason's personal abilities, these are only her can equip these. When taking damage, gain stacking armor and a damage boost. And then number one hostess is when out of combat, heal rapidly. The idea as well is keeping in mind, so her main weapon is very short range. I don't think I'm ever going to really truly change how Sakura Storm attacks. I think it's, I think the animation's pretty much nailed, and the hitbox is pretty much what I want from it. I want it to be a short range weapon to synergize with her kit. Her item is a percentage of the damage you take is instead delayed to a damage over time. So she's supposed to be about taking hits and stacking up her damage and just staying in the middle of the fight. So she likes shorter ranged weaponry or utility to kind of amplify her. She's also got some crit stuff, I believe, with this, with her ultimate. I believe it's damage and crit and cooldown reduction is what it gives her, just a stat buff. So that's the kit of Kason, whereas like Iron Mouse is, she starts with the Iron Mike, which deals damage based on healing. She has the passive, which is healing per second, which is just health regen. One of her abilities is amplify healing received, and then the other one amplifies the assists that you use, which at the moment that's not fully implemented. And then her ult is just a screen nuke that gets all the XP and draws it to you. But which is kind of just the idea of, she's supposed to be the slow methodical design. It's kind of, you're not going to die, but you're not going to do damage extremely fast. I just think that her damage is a little low, especially on her own character, where like the Iron Mike weapon, because it just, a weapon, I'm fine with a weapon doing an insane amount of damage when all of its conditions are met, right? I think that's a valid way of looking at something. So if I tick all the boxes, this should do good, right? So Kason's weapon, the Sakura Storm, it does insanely well on her when you get like a little bit of other protective stats and maybe some other damage amp, and then like some flat stat buffs. She is all about kind of just sitting still and taking that damage. So we saw there, her weapon did insane amounts. Peak, awesome. Iron Mike does not come close to that under most situations, and it's because it's got really low damage, but and it's the frequency, but it probably is what actually needs to come up. I probably keep the damage as is, but Mousy Methodical isn't that accurate. I do agree with that to an extent. Like, ironically enough, her game style probably doesn't fit her character that much, which there's an argument there. But I would also, I don't know. Again, that's kind of where I make the argument of maybe I should increase the pulse rate of the weapon, because that would probably fit her more, right? Because it would be a little bit more aggressive styled. A bit is because, like, again, she is inherently, her weapon is about being in your face as well. Like, Kaison's kind of like that, but Mouse is also like that, right? But Mouse is a little less proactive in design, I guess. Can't really make any comments on that. That's fair. Like, Gura is just running around at fucking Mark 7 being a fucking lunatic, which I feel like is an accurate way of kind of portraying her character. That's the idea of her. She's just throwing shit all over the place and very slippery. So there is a matrony of, like, trying to find a way of balancing a character in an interesting way, but also creating a character that is pays homage to the original character correctly. So I do think that's actually a very apt statement, though, of, like, complaining that technically the mouse one isn't all that accurate. Yeah, no, I was also going to show the leveling one, right? After receiving an unlimited amount of candy, yes. That is a very accurate way of putting it. But no, so the EXP. Here we go. So, keeping in mind as well, I should mention the run that we were doing was a 2 + 2 = 5 run, which means that you get 25% more experience. That's a reference actually at Gura from memory. So take that as you will. But yeah, so here we go. This is the thing. So blah, blah, blah. That doesn't really matter. How to increase the thing. So experience max is increased by and dependent on the level. So if you're at level below 20, if you're 20 and below, sorry, it will increase by this amount, which I would have to look at the controller to find out what that number coincides with. There you go. So it increases by +10. Yeah, increases by +10 every level. Which, what does it start at? I actually can't remember. That would also be in the main controller. Right? No, it's initializer now, which, where is initializer? It's in scripts, isn't it? Yeah. So we're looking for player experience max in here, 5. So it goes from 5 to 15. Do EXP orbs also increase in value? I believe they increase on the minute marker by 1. I think that basically for every minute, they increase in base value by 1. I think that's the case. I can double check that though. It would be drops. We're probably looking for this one. Pick up experience, create. Value is 1. That's actually interesting. Would be on player. Pick up parent. Yeah, here we go. So other value. So no, they don't scale then at the moment. It's literally just 1. I thought I had them scaling. I guess I'm wrong. Just fine. So yeah, it's a base value of 1. So every enemy you kill is 1. No, enemies have their own value. I am corrected. I know I did this this way. Wait, give me a second. Enemy objects, enemy units, unit parent. No, it's not under unit parent, it's just under enemy parent. Destroy. Score, no, create. Value, value, value. I'm sure there's a value state on the enemies. Guess not. Okay. Huh. I removed a lot of things at one point, I guess. Yeah, no, here we go. Here's the experience. So yeah, they are a base value of 1 at the moment. Okay. There we go. Found the answer. So yes, they're all a value of 1. So if we go back here, so it's 10, 13, 16 to these values here. So it's quite a bit to level up. Because keep in mind, it's not like you have to get 4, then 10, then another 10. It's you need to get 4, then 14, then 24, then 34, then so on and so forth. Do what? This level here. Right, so if we get to player level 20, what's the... That'd be 204 EXP needed. For that level, and then past that, it's quite a bit. The EXP probably looks like it's going up so fast because the amount of things you're killing is increasing, right? And theoretically your damage is getting higher and higher, which is the case with a lot of those sorts of games. Again, Vampire Survivors is pretty notorious, and I think this is the big problem with Vampire Survivors myself, is that realistically, once you've kind of beaten the game enough and you've got the meta progression upgrades, you'll normally max build before 10 minutes on a 30-minute run. Like, if I'm actually playing correctly, I will be definitely max build before 10 minutes. Or at least near, like at a point where it's like, nah, I'm pretty much just, I don't need to do anything. I can sit AFK. Can be faster than that even. I know I got 7 minutes pretty effectively for when I was doing my gold farming as the OP character. The Sigma, I think it is. The fucking final boss character. To be fair, that character is designed to be broken as fuck, so. Aside from that, yeah, in a holocure, dependent on what run you're doing, and if you've got any modifiers or anything, like the food modifiers, there's what consistently you can probably be hitting your peak at like somewhere between you can kind of hit it at about 15 minutes if you're doing like decent. Arguably that game though has one thing going for it that Vampire Survivors doesn't, that I'm also kind of implementing, which is kind of like the special alert waves. So so Vampire Survivors has alert states, right, where there's certain higher level maps that will have like lightning strike or something like that, and you need to dodge that. Don't need to, but you're probably better to, just because you're normally killing in such an area that it doesn't matter. Holocure, outside of some very specific builds that I can think of, you're probably gonna have to dodge, and they're much more regular and a bit more aggressive at making you have to actually move around, because it's normally like a wave of enemies coming across with spaces in between, so you have to kind of weave in there. And they're normally tanky enough that outside of some of those like high-end builds, you can't get away with it. Which is kind of like what I'm saying is like I actually really like that, and that is something that I'm adapting to my own style. But I will not deny I was thinking about this the other day. Is like, is these EXP numbers correct? The fun fact, do you want to actually know what these values are based off? They're based off Minecraft. I believe this is the values for levels 10 and above. This is the values for levels 20 and above, and this is like the higher end. Sorry, I gotta go, but have a few seconds delay when streaming, giving you a bit of space to place custom effects that other will be seen as fair. I mean, I do know I have a few seconds delay, but honestly speaking, that's just the stream delay, like general internet delay of it hitting server to you. I don't actually have any real delay. Which is always interesting. I don't actually have much to censor, and realistically, I think there's only one stream I've ever had to censor something on, and nobody noticed at the time, and I then proceeded to censor it. I took the video stream down for a little bit, edited it, and then put it back up. So there's actually a stream somewhere where there's a top bars that are blurred out, because I accidentally showed my email. I showed two emails. I showed my business email. No, that is the point of the delay. No. The delay you're talking about is not the delay that would allow me to do that. The delay you're referring to would not benefit me in the way that you're referring to. Because my setup here is immediate. Like, I can see my hand on my stream software moving at the exact same time I'm moving. So there is no actual delay internal, which means that I would not be able to push through an effect in time. Because even if I actually have the things working again, to change to a different thing, I would need to press it like that, which, oh god, that's very outdated, that one. Yeah. That's kind of the general idea, right? So I would need to press it, which I would be pressing now. There's no delay on the input, and there's no delay on your guys' end, because there's no delay. The only delay that exists is the delay between peer-to-peer, which does not allow for me to do anything in that space. Okay. Sorry, like I said, I'm gonna be doing some of the uni work off to the side. So it's not that I'm not doing the stream, I just, again. Um, 7.7.7.7.7. Oh. Again, what you're seeing now is why I'm probably not going to stream next week, because I just need to get this stuff done. I got these to do. I've got 2 assignments I've like basically not started, and they're due next week, I'm pretty sure. Which is not good. Today is going to be a long, long day. Da, 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 da. 1.2, 1.2, 1.2, 1.2. So I needed another 11 for that thing, and then I need to write out the other stuff. Trying to... Doesn't help that I'm also keeping this stuff in mind. I'm trying to do like 3 different programming things in my head, and then also an essay. This is why I hate this part of the year. What is another thing that would work on? Okay. I need to remember to actually set up like a proper dev tool system at some point. I think that's something that I'm going to do for next update once this one's done, is I'm actually going to set up a dev tool environment, which I might make something around for testing purposes. I don't know if I'll ever make it available to players in any capacity, like a room where I can go test things, where I can spawn enemies and test damage numbers and all that. I don't think that's something that the players need. I know as someone, because like, so one thing I see a lot, right, is people complain like, why can't we have a test environment for TFT? Where we can like select our augments at the specific times, all these sorts of controllable aspects, so we can kind of just test numbers. And it's like, because people are just going to play the tool and just hit peak things, and then they're going to love that and then play the normal game and never get that. Because you're never going to hit peak. It's the point of the game is the randomness. League, there's some reasoning, right? It's because it's more consistent, more straightforward. A lot less of it is random. Outside of the map environment, like the thing you're playing yourself theoretically won't change under most situations, to my understanding. I don't think there's any character I know of that how they play changes between game to game other than like in reaction to a different composition. There's an argument as to technically League is solvable, right? whereas TFT isn't per se solvable. It's the best players are those that are able to adapt. Which I'll admit at the moment I've been doing really badly at, but that's because Chunk's Treasure fucking ruined me. I got really good at Chunk's Treasure though. Like it was either I would go out like 8th or 7th or I would first place pretty consistently. Like I'm very consistently first place. A lot of back-to-backs. That's because just again, like it's a mode where you're supposed to play really greedy and really stupidly. And this current set works with that idea really well. I think in the past, the versions of Chunk's Treasure that's existed, like the New Year's one that they did, I can't remember. I didn't like that one because the set, I feel like, didn't accommodate that sort of like verticality in the same way, or my brain didn't handle the verticality in the same way. Because again, that's what those modes are for. I wonder if I should move a lot of this stuff somewhere else. Like the HP one. Because I think healing is... Where is healing done now? I don't think healing's done here anymore, right? I think healing's a time source thing. Player health regen. I don't think that does actually anything at the moment. Because I think that's like healing that we don't actually have. Oh, sorry. Yawn. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, is that supposed to just be if I want to modify it all? Okay, 0.7. Zero. Okay, that's equivalent to our fire. Um, why is music stopped? Music, what is wrong? I'm just having a moment, okay. Cool. So 6 more. If I get 6 more of these done, then I can take a break from that and go back to this. Fuck, I can't remember to spell broad. It's that, right? Yeah, no, I was right. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh, no, no. 2 more. What is another one? One more. Okay, I'm gonna open this up and get a fork sent through. Just a second. course. Of course. I can close that for now. I'm just very exhausted. I just did like half a day's work in about 10-20 minutes. Can't wait to have to do that like 3 more times today. Let's see if they've actually done anything on the essay side of things, or if I'm gonna just have to keep doing it solo. Well, I get people are busy, but this is a group assignment and you have responsibilities. Damage tracker timer start. I should actually figure out when like the region. I need to formalize a lot of things in this project at some point. I think I've talked about this before, but I don't think that we're going to get a finished product before the end of this year of this anymore. Unless something drastically changes in my life. I'm not going to pretend to promise one anymore. I will promise this update in the next few months, at least, or at least I'm hoping it's only going to be a bit longer, because again, I'm waiting on my mate is the main thing, because I need to work with the stuff he's got to implement it, to actually push through something that's worthwhile. Once that comes through and we have the UI changes and everything that we're supposed to, it'll be good. I don't know if he's pushed it or not, actually. I will admit to that. He may have pushed it without me noticing. I've been meaning to push this for ages, but I kind of want to get everything fixed before I do. No, he hasn't pushed anything. Last month was the last time something got pushed, good lord. And this next push I'm gonna do is gonna be insane. There's a couple of things I actually do want to change soon, but we'll see about it. I think it's because one of the things I've been thinking about more, especially with like the feathers, how they were showing up, I kind of am thinking I might do a few more things dynamically, like damage and all that, which I think I'm doing some of that dynamically now, but I want to do more of it dynamically. Size as well is a big one. And that's going to be interesting. I also kind of want to change up a couple of things of like hitboxes and stuff. I think that's one of the big things that needs to be done is like hitboxes need to be edited quite a bit, and I need to have a better system for that. I need to get more assets visually done. But again, that's one of those, like, I've said that for pretty much a year now since I started streaming the game development, which ironically enough, we're coming up on the anniversary of that. Be later this month is when I did my first programming stream. So yay, there's that. Alright, well, I guess I'll do some fucking... I don't really want to do some writing, because if I do some essay writing on stream, I'm just going to be silent the entire time while doing it. But like, what the fuck else do I do? Work on my 3D render engine? I can't do that with off my second screen. I might honestly call it today. I feel shit for that. We might... So I'm going to talk about this a bit more concretely now, because we're going to probably finish up. And I'm struggling a lot. This week is going to be a bit flaky. We've got the stream, next stream, and the Friday stream as well. So yeah, 3 streams in a row. They're probably going to be shorter overall. Tomorrow's, I don't know what's going to be tomorrow's looks like. Maybe that might actually be longish. We'll see. Next week, I might just say no to streams. I've also not been doing shorts at the moment, if you've noticed. I'm not going to be doing shorts again until the semester break, where I will actually have some free time, and I will dedicate like a couple of days to just getting through my backlog and working through that. When semester is over, I don't know what the stream schedule is going to look like. Because it will be me just kind of recovering for a day or two as well, hopefully. It's like once the weekend is over, I might take that Monday off, maybe the Tuesday off, and then we'll get back into streaming a bit longer and a bit more regularly with a bit more purpose. We'll see. But just pure and simply, I'm just not in any good... I'm not in a good frame of mind or state to be doing streaming really at the moment when my assignments are bearing down on me like this, because I've messed around too much. I'm normally a lot more motivated to do things, and that's something that's been an issue. I do need to probably look at some form of counseling to just talk through some of these issues that I've been going through. But I also have a... Okay. I recommend seeking counsel or assistance when you can, but I personally... I will give that recommendation, but I will not follow that advice often, because in my experience, it's been like a 1:9 ratio of good to bad therapy counseling experiences. Like, I've had 2 people in those sorts of fields that I've come across in my time that I actually liked and actually felt like they were doing things that helped me. One of them basically admitted, I can't do jack shit for you. Here is kind of the stuff you need to know about what you're dealing with. You're gotta find a way to figure this shit out, because there is a reason why none of the others have worked. Is because they've tried to solve the problem for you. You need to solve the problem, and that actually did the most for me. So that was great, but the rest of the time it's like, oh no, you need to breathe better. That was one of the things that pissed me off the most, and I will always refer to. As one said that my breathing was too quick, which was creating too much stress. It's like, no, it's because I've got bad lungs and a bad heart, which I only found out last year. Well, the lungs I knew about, the heart I didn't. But it's shit like that. It's like, most of my experiences were not pleasant, and these, like, when I say that breathing one, that was someone that was like clinically recommended and everything. So it says a lot that there is a variety out there, and it's about finding the right one, but also it's about affording them, because I can't afford that most of the time. I need to find services that are willing to just sit there and listen with me. Which, ironically enough, my doctors and nurses have done a better job of most of the time, because they're just willing to give me the straight facts. They're not there to tell me certain things that I should and shouldn't do. Well, they are, but they'll tell it to me straight, not fucking pussyfoot around it. Anyway, before I get on a tangent about mental health institutions and how they're shit, I think I'm going to call it here because I think I need a bit of a breather, and then I'm going to get back to working. Yeah, I'm hoping I'll be in a better mood tomorrow, but I'm very tired. It's been long days of lots of just really fucking shit work. And yeah, so I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure you didn't, but you know. And I hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye bye.